Pussy down anywhere that I go. Do it for my whole team in the zone in my 2-3. Your horsepower couldn't catch me on my 2 feet. I set a trail, then I'm gone in my 2-3. And 1, yep, I did it again. It's crunch time. Sick as nigga playing to win like 2-3. 25-8, nigga, no sleep. Feel like a leap and take flight, nigga, 2-3. Surrounded by the meal, just trying to get a meal. I can struggle on my own, so fuck your record deal. Man, I honor before anything, ain't got shit to prove. Bless and pour up the booze, then crush another groove. Cause if you sleep off in this game, then you ain't got a clue. Trying to match up ain't even fair, nigga, be set to lose. Independent brain, militant mind frame. See through them lames and bitches that play the mind game. Cubic zirconia with gold-plated copper chains. You faking for the fame? I'm hardly entertained. I ain't got shit to lose, but got it all to gain. Cause if I'm living broke, I might as well just be in pain. So I'm gonna bring the pain. Sunny, snow, or rain. No, we are not the same. Stay the fuck out my lane. Spectators looking strange. Focus my aim. Haters back on that bullshit. I'm back on my A game. I pussy down anywhere that I go. Do it for my whole team in the zone in my 2-3. Your horsepower couldn't catch me on my 2 feet. I set a trail, then I'm gone in my 2-3. And 1, yep, I did it again. It's crunch time. Sick as nigga playing to win like 2-3. 25-8, nigga, no sleep. Feel like a leap and take flight, nigga, 2-3. Overlook the good advice from the old and wise. Grew up fantasizing how to lives of the bad guys. Student of the game when I was back in school. Holding niggas pushing box frames with chrome shoes. Back then was 20 inches, Chevys on roller skates. But now it's 8 and up, Chevys that levitate. Your money looking good, stacking on that dinner plate. Suckers gon' watch and hate, bitches gon' gravitate. I'm on the paper chase, shit I can taste the cake. Sweet tooth, my birthday is still a year away. Can't guard me, feel the pressure when I'm in the paint. Try to block me, can't stop me, these niggas in the way. Measure my strides and meters, got what it takes to beat them. Shake them like I don't need them, clutches and buzzer beaters. Fighting kryptonite, niggas try to deny the ether. If you was greater than me, I wouldn't tell you either. I push it down anywhere that I go. Do it for my whole team in the zone in my 2-3. Your horsepower couldn't catch me on my 2 feet. I set a trail, then I'm gone in my 2-3. And 1, yep, I did it again. It's crunch time. Sick as nigga playing to win like 2-3. 25-8, nigga, no sleep. Feel like a leap and take flight, nigga, 2-3.
Welcome back to the Top Cast. That was sounds from my main man, Vonnie EC. He has been a guest of the Top Cast before. Check out my episode called Living in the Here and Now, featuring none other than Vonnie EC. This episode tonight is episode 3 of the Übermensch series, the title of which is Reconstructive Truth. And reconstructive truth is the period of time that we must go through after so-called taking the red pill or becoming aware of how things really are or really operate in life. This evening, I'm joined again by none other than the young homie, Markeith Monroe of the I Don't Give a Fuck Media. How you doing, Ro?
I'm good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing good. If you can for me right quick, could you just plug your social media information? And by the way, folks, all his social media information can be found in the video description below. Thanks for everybody joining to watch this episode live this evening.
All right, y'all want to catch me? Catch me on Instagram at Markeith Monroe. Catch me on Twitter at Markeith Monroe. Catch me on YouTube at Markeith Monroe. It's all the same. And I'm about to start doing the TikTok thing too, and that's I ain't shit media. So go be on the lookout for that also.
Facts. I keep calling I don't give a fuck or I don't give a shit. It all add up to be the same to me. Well,
Yeah, it's
welcome
the
back,
same
bro.
shit.
Welcome back, bro. I also want to mention before we go on that Ro is also one of 3 guests of the Kings of Comedy. Go check out episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 will be coming soon, featuring me, Ro, and Tone You a Fool. Because all 3 of us are really some of the funniest motherfuckers around. As far as I'm concerned, I know I'm funny. You understand what I'm saying? I know you funny. I know Tone funny. All these other motherfuckers is just funny looking. You understand what I'm saying? But tonight's show is about, like I mentioned before, tonight's show is about what comes after taking the red pill. And what comes after taking the red pill is you cease living a blue pill existence. You cease looking at the world how you once did. And you had to destroy what you once knew, and now you have to reconstruct what you know anew. I know for certain that I've been through instances like that in my life, and I'm willing to bet that everybody else has also gone through those instances. And I would like to say further that a lot of us don't realize that we keep or will keep having those experiences until we learn what it is that we have to learn from them to get to the next step. Ro, can you speak on your period of awakening? Is another way I could put it, or your period of going from what you used to think was true to now having to readjust what you thought before to something new now.
Yeah, that was pretty much my last relationship. Couple years back, it was 5 years. And we lived together for the last 2. And prior to going into that relationship, just a little back history on me. I had both parents in the household, and love my pops to death. You see this video? This ain't a diss, pop. This ain't a diss. It's just the truth. But he was more of a traditional happy wife, happy life type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I adopted that mentality because that's all I saw. But once I got older, I noticed that like a lot of men, they don't really tell the truth about women. Like a lot of men were like miserable. They tell you that when they later in their life, but they're like miserable dealing with their wives. Like they going crazy on the inside, but on the outside, it looked like it's just the happiest thing on earth. And then when I moved in with a chick and I did the long-term relationship, and I had 2, by the way. One of them before that, the girl cheated on me, got her pregnant by another dude, all kind of other shit. But this one was a little more, it was more serious. We lived together. That's like damn near being married, if you ask me. But, once I started living with a female, I was like, oh no, this happy wife, happy life shit, it don't work because when you live like that, they're never going to stop like giving you things to do to try to prove things to them. It's never gonna stop. The more you give, the more she gonna take. And I had to learn that, hey, it's nothing wrong with things being about you. Because as men, to be a successful man, you have to be selfish to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%. And I've relayed this story before in private and publicly, but I've been in, technically speaking, I've only ever had one girlfriend or one long-term relationship. And I won't say that I didn't have any issues in that relationship, because obviously I did, because it no longer exists. And we started out in a relationship around 2001. to 2004. And I had known her sometime before that. But what I noticed in my relationship, it wasn't because I was raised by my dad too up until the age of 12. And then him and my mom, for reasons that I haven't gone into and won't get into in this particular video, they split up. And then I became the child of a single mother, technically by definition. But I didn't have that experience like you did with your father. And I've long since suspected that a lot of guys, younger guys, who were raised by fathers were in fact raised by fathers who were more like blue pillars or simpish. No disrespect to anybody in particular, but I'm just calling it what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And as a result, they got the wrong idea about women because they didn't have a man versed, well enough in women to explain to them what the real situation is. You understand what I'm saying? And I too have had some relationship issues or issues while being in a long-term relationship. And the issue that I had is it's like one, she had bad communication skills, and it was almost like at times she would be very, very resistant to something I was requesting of her for no good reason, just like being a hard-headed bitch for no reason. And it eventually got frustrating to the point where I was like, well, this shit is just not worth it.
Same.
But she and I are very good friends still. And we still even kick it to this day. And we even talk about some of the experience, some of the things that we went through in our relationship and how it helped us, which goes along with the theme of this video, how it reconstructed our truth or the truth for us and helped us when we moved on to interact with the next person. So I agree with you. And thank you for sharing that experience. And I would also like to say that it's just my opinion. And this is just based from observation. And that is a lot of guys who in this YouTube space who consume this quote unquote red pill content. They're not really red pill. They kind of like in a state of semi-sleep, like a daydream, like sleepwalking, where on one hand, they hear the truth and it makes sense to them. But on the other hand, they still want to try to live the blue pill life, knowing what they know now from the red pill side. And they even came up with a term for it. They call them purple pillars.
Right.
I call them the Prilosec motherfuckers. Because that's the purple pill too. You understand what I'm saying? But and I think Prilosec was like for heartburn, which makes it even more ironic because they just going back to get their heart broke again. They come right back on YouTube to get more advice. But it doesn't just apply to women, and I would like to highlight that because there are other instances in my life, and maybe in your life and other folks' life too, where there's something that I held as a fact only to come out to find out later on that, okay, I have to change my information because what I thought was a fact is no longer a fact. And I find out a lot of people have difficulty doing that. Do you have any experience with running into people like that or in that situation, or even yourself dealing with something like that or being in that kind of a situation?
Yeah, definitely, all the time. Just like we talked about on our last, the Three Kings of Comedy, when we started discussing the van life stuff, that's like a red pill truth too, that you automatically believe that people are rich because they have like a certain car or a certain house, but really the red pill truth, you're pretty much in debt You know what I'm saying? But you look at them like, oh, wow, they're just doing amazing. They're just so great. I want to live my life like that. But they're in debt. They have to work for the rest of their lives because they purchase all these things. Like, you don't own the house. The bank owns the house until you pay it off. Because if you lose your job, guess what? They taking that shit. They don't give a damn how much money you put into it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously you could do real estate and flip. That's a different story. But a lot of the times, people will look at people that drive Honda Civics and Priuses like they're poor, and they'll drive a Mercedes, and they'll be literally broke, can barely afford the insurance to put the gas in it. But to society, people will look at the people in the Mercedes like they're bigger and better than. But in the real world, you know what I'm saying, those people are actually not free. You know what I'm saying? That's like a small example. I can go on and on all night about this, but that's an example of like another red pill truth when it's just outside of women.
Exactly. And yeah, I recall that that us speaking on that topic in the last drop. And like I said then, I agree too. And like, Biggie Smalls famously and eloquently said, more money, more problems. And personally, I'm not a super materialistic dude. Like I said before, I like nice things, but they also have to be functional, and that's something that I would offer as an example of reconstructing what I once thought was true to something now that is different, that I now think is more true than what I once thought. And that's that although I like nice things and like anybody else, we all would like to have those things, but what purpose do they serve? And so my point of view changed about having those things. You understand what I'm saying? But people in general, I find they have a difficulty changing or updating their information based on, what's available to know. And I find that it's a detriment in most cases. Let me ask you, has there ever been a time before in your life prior to now where you were resistant to changing, a belief or something that you held to be true or a fact? Have you ever had any difficulties, accepting what the truth really is if it contradicts what you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, like that was a typical struggle, from switching over to back to the blue pill, red pill shit. I struggle with that, because all I see my whole life, see, here's the gift and the curse about growing up in a two-parent household. The gift and the curse, you got balance. Like I know all other stuff. My dad taught me how to use tools. He taught me I need to have a job, be responsible, all of those good things. But he was like, when it came to women, it's just all I saw was love, 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 love. And then my mom is like, love, 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 love. And then I'm like, okay, that's success. That's what I need. Like, it's nothing but love. You see a girl you like, you move in with her, you get married, you have kids, and then that's that. Which you can still do in that. I'm not knocking nobody that does that, but you have to have a different philosophy, and don't be afraid to be all about you, because you come first in everything. If you want a relationship to work with a woman, you have to come first. They may not understand why you like that, but it's important because they don't appreciate it when you put them first. They will never appreciate when you put them first. And it's just like, it's hard giving away love, because I'm in high school, and then out of high school, like love, being in love felt good. I ain't gonna cap. It's a simp moment right now, but whatever. Like, you know, there are good parts of being in love, but you can't be like too invested in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can love somebody, but don't be like in love with them. Like, yeah, I love that girl, she cool, but don't like love her to the point where you will put yourself at risk, or put yourself in danger, or put yourself in a bad predicament. Because that's all I wanted my whole life. I just want love. I just want her to love me for me. Yeah, fuck all that bullshit. No,
I
no.
know that's
Give me
right.
respect. Give me
Like
respect over love any day.
I know that's right. Shout out to the homie King Dre, and he say, and I agree with him that as men, when it comes to dealing with women, that we supposed to not fall in love. It's nothing wrong with us loving them, but falling in love is what females do. Right. And to further expound on tonight's topic, I find that a lot of guys. This is something else that I find about a lot of guys. And I've spoken on this before too. A lot of guys come to the internet and they just as hypocritical as women are. Because on the one hand, they want to talk, they want to hear somebody who's going to talk shit about how bad women are. And maybe rightly so, to some extent anyway. And on the other hand, they will also want to know how to get them. And I'm like, you guys are totally confused. And so I'm saying this and offering this as another example of how I personally in my own life had to change what I held to be true about a particular situation. And really, most guys black guys are being disingenuous about the situation that we in as a group of men. And so to avoid and in avoiding that situation, what they do is they come to the internet and they don't want to let go of their previously held beliefs. And now that they have to let go of their previously held beliefs, they're angry about it. But their anger is misdirected and pointed at the wrong persons, which is women. And it should be pointed at the culprit, the real culprit, who is the enabler of our women.
Exactly.
But that's not a conversation that as a group of men, we're really ready to have, because most guys, like I said, in this space, act just like women. And just the way they behave, just coming here being hypocritical, is passive aggressive, just like women. You know what I'm saying? You come here, you want to hear motherfuckers talk bad about how bad women are, how fucked up they are, and then you want to know how to get them, when in reality, it's really your fault as the man. And guys don't want to accept that.
That's definitely something that I accepted, you know what I'm saying? That's when I really started to change and have more success with women. Once I was just like, you know what? That girl, see, these dudes need to get over it. You need to get the fuck over it. That girl, she didn't put a gun to your head and make you spend money on her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time we insist, like, no, baby, I got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing with me. And they'll be like, playing dumb. Like, no, I'm cool. I'm just good. I don't need it. I don't need you. Like, nah, baby, you with me. I got this. And then they think that's going to buy the quote unquote submission. And it doesn't, then they're frustrated. But remember, that girl didn't force you to do anything. That girl didn't force you to put all that energy. That girl did not force you to put her first and do all of this shit that you shouldn't have been doing. And once I looked at it like that, I was just like, damn, can't no girl do me in. Like, can't no girl do me dirty. Like, I can only do myself dirty because I allowed you to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stuck my meat in a low quality woman and hit her raw and got her pregnant. You got some small cases to where the condom may break or whatever, but you shouldn't even be sticking your joint in something that's low quality anyway. You got to think about every girl you have sex with. There's a possibility you might get this girl pregnant because it's an unfortunate consequence. You know what I'm saying? It could possibly happen even if you wrap up. But most of these guys, they just be so thirsty for the sex that they'll do anything, and then they mad at the girl. Like, bro, like, you chose that girl. Remember that.
That's facts. I say the same thing to women. Don't come to me talking about how bad your dude is. You chose it. So, you should be admonishing yourself, not over here, trying to make me your emotional tampon. But
Right.
yeah, that is a unfortunate truth that I don't think that a lot of guys are really aware of, for one, or if they are aware of, it's not something that they really want to a topic they want to discuss, you know, and hash it out so that we can figure out what to do about it, you know, and that applies to anything that it, you know, applies to us as a group of people and even as individuals. But in other news, I don't know if you heard about this Derek Jackson fiasco that's going on, or this Donovan Sharp fiasco thing that's going on. And I don't really get into the gossipy thing so much, but I'm just mentioning it to highlight that this is another unfortunate case of, you know, guys not fully accepting what the truth is, you know, or playing around, you know, and pretending to be something that they in fact are not.
Right. That's for
And
sure.
this is the kind of thing that, you know, I personally go to great lengths to avoid being here on YouTube as a YouTube personality, you know, be that as it may. And I keep highlighting that to guys, and you're gonna see more and more cases of things like this, you know. But the reason why I mentioned it is because it is another example that I'm offering for individuals who patronize these folks. And I don't have anything against them personally because I don't know them personally. But it just goes to show how folks are unwilling to accept the truth about, you know, how folks really get down.
Right.
And you see this with both of their audiences.
Yeah.
And it's really typical how you see this kind of phenomena, and the audience, you know, the fandom are quick to run to a person's defense, you know, when they clearly flagrantly doing some shit that's contrary to what they claim to represent.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This here's what I think. Like, as far as the Derek Jackson situation, first of all, this is just my opinion. Tell me what you think, Top. If you a young, attractive, successful man, 9 times out of 10, you don't want to just have sex with one woman for the rest of your life. I don't care what you say, bro. Like, any dude that's young, rich, got all the resources, got all the options, I think all them dudes be cheating. If you want to ask me, I think all them dudes be cheating because most of them ain't man enough to just do what they gonna do and just tell the truth. Most men are not, because you kind of, for me, it's not the best of both worlds, but for them, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I get the family, I get the, to come home and kiss my wife and kiss my kids. And then when she getting on my nerve, I can go fuck with another bitch. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like kind of getting the best of both worlds. And it's just like, that's whack to me, because I don't play with people's feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been no cheap ass dude in none of my relationships. And I believe that you should just keep it 100. And this was before I even found this red pill shit. But most dudes, they not brave enough to just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be by myself until I'm ready to just be with just one. And I don't think, if you're an attractive man, that you ever just want to just sleep with just one woman for the rest of your life. You lying to yourself.
Mhm.
Like, you know.
Well, my opinion about that, and I'm in complete agreement with the GOAT Patrice O'Neal, and it really will just take a simple, you know, I could do a poll and generalize or extrapolate from that poll. But I firmly believe, and I said it all the time, I'm a guy. I know guys. And motherfuckers, we all the same. Just like I say that women are all the same. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if you were to poll guys and guys were to be honest, I mean, really, really honest, I don't think any guy would say they only ever want to have sex or be with just one woman. Because if that was the case, then guys would get one woman and just be with her. But that's not what happens, right? As with the case with Mr. Jackson.
Right.
You know, and so I say, why even get married or get into a relationship if you know that you're going to want to deal with other women? You know, why make yourself to be a liar and lose respect in the eyes of this woman instead of just being straight up with her and be willing to take the loss?
Right.
You know, but to speak about my own personal experiences, I have cheated in a relationship before. Oh, salute. Let me just take the time to salute the viewers, the guests. Salute Dave. We got to get together and hit them links. It's the summertime, the springtime now. The summertime is coming up. It's gonna get too hot. Holla at me. Salute Cam. Be safe out there on the road. Appreciate you for listening. Salute Big Rich. Thanks for coming through. Absolutely. That's my intent. This is one of the few places on YouTube where you guys can come and get some real conversation about real shit and not all that gossipy beef and shit. Even though if a motherfucker disrespect me, I'm going to put you on blast. So I get some views on my YouTube off your ass. Anyway, in my own personal relationship, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I only been in one committed long-term relationship, but I have cheated on her before. And I was younger then, but I didn't lie to her. When she asked me, I told her. She said, "You ever cheated on me before?" I told her, "Yeah." And even though I know it hurt her feelings, it meant more to me for me to tell her the truth instead of, because I knew if I didn't, you know, because I know enough about women that she would investigate and find out anyway.
Right.
So instead of letting her find out like that, I just was like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna just tell her. What's she gonna do but leave? You know, understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that to say, most guys are cowards when it comes to dealing with women. That's why they have a problem talking to them. That's why they have a problem figuring out when a woman likes them or not. You know, because not only are they lying to the woman, but they're lying to themselves. You know?
Yeah, man.
They come to YouTube, get a couple Band-Aids to fix to alleviate they you know the symptoms of their situation, and they don't ever really fix it.
Yeah.
And because it's very hard work, which is you know, not what a lot of people want. A lot of people are not prepared to really do what it's going to take to fix, you know, whatever problems they have with themselves, myself included. Shit, I'm on the top of the list.
Right.
You know, the things that I say don't just apply to everybody else. You know, these things go for me too. But here's the difference: is I recognize it the first time. I don't keep fucking up and making the same mistake, because that's insanity to think that you can keep doing something and thinking the result is going to be different. You know, which is why I don't understand why, you know, guys think that they could take red pill information and go back to living a blue pill existence.
Right.
You know, it boggles my mind.
Yeah, there's a lot of red pill truths that people avoid, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just want to hear, the only red pill they want to hear is that the chick is bad. But here's a red pill truth: a lot of women, you know, they are crazy because of men that have lied to them. If you meet a girl and every dude that she's ever met has lied to her, like, it's dudes walking down the aisle, and I'm not trying to, you know, because they gonna come here, "Oh, you a simp, you caping." I'm not caping for women, but like, a lot of dudes be messing up their head because they will really get in their head and say, "Oh, baby, oh, you just the best thing ever happened to me. Oh, I love you." Oh, they know damn well they just cheated last night, and they gonna get caught cheating, and that woman is gonna get in her feelings, and guess what's gonna happen? The same thing that happened to Derek Jackson. You gonna get exposed because you lied. If you just kept it 100, Like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't got shit on you. But now, since you lied, now she gonna be in her feelings and do everything that she can to try to tear you down. If you would have just kept it a buck with her, you probably wouldn't even be going through that. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's 100% true. And then, you know, like I tell guys all the time, stop looking for, you know, or not stop looking for, but learn to respect yourself more and stop lying to yourself. I mean, it does, you doing yourself a disservice by lying to yourself. And I see a lot of that going around, especially amongst, you know, our group, because that's primarily who I'm talking to and talking about, because that's, you know, the group I'm from. You know, I've never been a white guy or a Hispanic guy to really be able to speak to them or their experience. You know, even though some of the shit that I say is general and it applies to all of us, regardless of, you know, our culture or where we originated from or what color we are, etc. But I just want to address Dave's statement here. He said true, and it speaks a lot. It speaks on a lot of the brothers who date, marry outside of their race. And this comment is in regards to what I was saying earlier about us as Black men being disingenuous when it comes to, you know, how we see Black women behaving. You know, it's not by accident that they doing what they doing. It's by design. But instead of us, you know, avoiding the reality of the situation, we do ourselves a disservice by doing that. And we do ourselves a disservice by not admitting that Black women could not be behaving like they do if there was not somebody to enable them to do so. And so our problem ultimately is not with Black women, but with the people who enable them. You take them out the equation, who could Black women look to enable them? But that's not a conversation that we want to have, because it requires a lot of work. It requires us to actually stand the fuck up and be men. You understand?
Facts.
And that in itself is some reconstructive truth for guys. Yeah. And I'm going to keep saying it until guys get it. You know, I mean, I don't disagree with guys pointing out the fact that Black women behave the way that they do. You'll get no pushback from me on that note. But where you will get pushback from me is when you're not contextualizing it. Because it takes two to tango. They didn't get in a situation by themselves. And like I say, even if you take it all the way back to Africa, you know, and in that situation where they was actually directly selling us, what were the African men doing? Because they surely had a hand in it. Wasn't no women going in the interior catching those slaves.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They was just involved in the selling. So, you know, this is the kind of conversation that I like to have, because it highlights a problem that we have as a group of people. And you could call me super Black, pro-Black, whatever the fuck you want. And then all I got to say in response, especially if you're a Black person, is, well, what's wrong with me being for you?
Yeah, man. Shit. That's most of these dudes ain't ready for that conversation, Top. I started getting unfollowed, you know what I'm saying, when I started posting, like, all right, what you gonna do about yourself? Because, you know, it just, like, a lot of the times I just get tired of talking about women all the time. Like, I don't wake up every morning, let me get online and say these hoes ain't shit every day. Like, that ain't even on my agenda. It has to be something that happened to me within the day, what I'm saying, one of the chicks I'm talking to tripping or something, then, I might be on my bullshit that day. But it's just like at the end of the day, like you said, I know it's the enablers. If a woman knows that she can go get a dude to do whatever she says, more often than not, like she don't have a reason to get her act together. If she knows she can run back, like I know red pill truth, we ain't about to cancel these hoes. Like they ain't gonna get canceled for doing another man dirty. What should happen is when you see a woman putting her dude on child support, like a good father or something, like he a good dad, and she put him on child support. What should happen to that woman is she should be banned from the black community. Like, all right, we ain't fucking with her. She doing one of our brothers dirty. But guess what? It ain't gonna happen because some nigga gonna come in there and be like, well, shit, I'm still gonna fuck. I don't care. Like, I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna do that. So it's just like, why even waste my time being mad at the chick when the chick know deep down inside, like somebody gonna pull up on me no matter how bad I treat them. Like, it's women that disrespect the hell out of they dudes, and the dudes still come back laughing. Hee hee ha 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 ha. Baby, you funny. Like, nah, bruh, that shit ain't funny. Cause now she thinks she could treat everybody like that because you let that shit slide. It ain't her fault. It's our fault because we let them do that shit.
That's I'm glad you made that point because that's another gem that the GOAT Patrice left us with. And that is, it's our responsibility as men to make sure that when we stop dealing with these women and they go on to the next guy, that they ain't assholes because we was an asshole. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, you're supposed to leave her better off than when you met her.
Right.
So that when I meet the bitch, I ain't got all this work to do because you didn't do your job, sir.
Right.
But like I said, and like Big Rich's comment even points out, our behavior dictates how they treat us. That doesn't just apply to how white people treat us. That also applies to how women treat us. So, guys, if you're having girl problems, I'll feel bad for you, son. But it's really all your fault.
Yeah, definitely.
Be accountable because she can't do what you don't allow. You're supposed to be in charge, Mr. Leader, Megatron.
Nah, they not, G. They not, because the red pill dudes told them, fuck all these bitches and do them dirty and be toxic and lie to them. So, they ain't got to do that, Tom. I don't know what you're talking about. They not supposed to
lie
leave them
to
better. They supposed to fuck them and dump them off on the side of the street.
Yeah,
That's what they
pump and
supposed to
dump
do.
them. Pump and dump them as if that's not going to make the situation even worse.
Exactly.
Or lie to them. Act like a bitch. Lie to them like they lie to you. That's not good advice for a man to be giving other men.
Right.
No, you don't lie to women because you don't have to. But you're not lying to women because of the woman. You're not lying to her because you value your integrity.
Yeah.
But these are problems that we have individually and collectively. I know I've dealt with these problems personally in my own personal life. And I'm a person that's about rectifying and solving the problems that I have personally. I don't have the ability to solve anyone else's problem, but I can do the best I can and try to point you in the right direction based on what I do know, and that's what I try to do. That's what I'm here for. I'm really about trying to help guys, and it's not so much about even advising guys or telling guys what to do. It's more about getting guys to think another way, because most guys don't really think logically. They think they thinking logically, but they don't. And how I know is because they think that the shit that I be saying be comical, but I be dead ass serious. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And plus, like, just like me personally, and I know you like this too, Top. Like, I'm just a good person overall. Like, I'm gonna treat that woman like a person, like if you come into my life, I automatically care about you as a person. Like, I want to see you do better. We might have sex one time and never talk again, but my intention is like, oh shit, I'm just about to do this bitch dirty that I just met. You know what I'm saying? We might meet at a club and go fuck that night, never talk again, but it ain't gonna be on some shit to where like I'm doing stuff maliciously. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you talk to me, if I fuck you that night and you hit me up the next day and you want to have a conversation about some shit, fuck it, let's talk, because I care about you as a person. I don't think dudes understand, like, if you treat the woman like a fucking human being, like, you're gonna get way better results from them. You know, like, there's a time where, you know, you got to treat them like a sexual object, obviously. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and a place for that. But overall, just be cool. Like, look at her like, I want to, you know, when she leave me, like you said, I want her to be in better shape after she left me. Like, I'm not about to have that on my conscience to where she fuck with me and I just ruin her damn life, you know? And if I do that, you know, it's not on purpose. I mean, we ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna do some fuck shit. Like, I'm human. I'm gonna do some fuck shit every now and again. But for the most part, I care about you as a person. You know, she is a lady. She is a person. You treat her as such. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want nobody treating your daughter like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, indeed. I agree with you 100%. You know, and I would say that to some degree, maybe I would word it different, but I am the same way with people. You know, until you show me that I need to treat you in a different manner. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's even reflected in my name. You know, and I could run down all the esoteric shit and to really get in depth and explain the shit. But I'm very much that same kind of person. You know, I mean, to such an extent where I do shit for people just because it makes me happy. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm doing what I'm doing is going to make you happy, but I get a kick out of the fact that I could do it for you, and it makes me even more happier than what it's going to make you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a kick out of the fucking feeling that I just made somebody's day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Especially if it wasn't something that they was expecting. You know? Because God works through me in mysterious ways. I'm a prophet.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you, Ro, for coming through again and joining me for another live episode of the Top Cast. The subject again of this video is reconstructive truth, which is the period that we all must go through through the philosopher's journey. Step number 3, where you have to do away with everything that you thought you knew and replace it with everything new that you have to learn. That has been the topic of this live Reconstructive Truth, episode number 3 of the Übermensch series. Ro, do you have any closing thoughts on our way out of here? And plug your social media again so the folks will know where to get at you at in case, you know, they're not here live and they catch us on the replay, which I hope they do.
Well, yeah, thank y'all for coming through. Y'all always showing love. We got Big Rich, Dave, and Cam. Y'all always up in here, so I appreciate y'all. You can just get me at Markeith Monroe, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I'm starting my TikTok. It's called I Ain't Shit Media. That's gonna be more about, you know, jokes and funny shit. You know, me trying to channel my inner Patrice O'Neal with the comedy shit. So that's gonna be hilarious. Check that shit out. And just, you know, just live your closing remarks. Just live your life the way you want to live it. Like, you know, that's the real red pill right there. However you want to live life, you live it the way you want to live it. Live your truth. Don't lie. And remember, you don't have to, because a lot of the women, they will accept you just the way you are. You know, you'd be surprised how many women will love you just the way you are. You know, they'll love whether you funny, whether you sarcastic, whether you're, you know, whatever your personality traits are, they go fuck with you. It's somebody out there that's gonna fuck with you just for being that way. That's all I got.
Facts. I agree with you 100%. Thanks, Big Rich. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Cam. You know, all the other secret watchers who didn't bother to comment so that I could shout you out. I appreciate you too. And I appreciate all you folks who are going to catch this on the replay. This has been another episode of the Top Cast. This is the Übermensch series, episode number 3, Reconstructive Truth. Never be afraid to change, folks, because the truth of the matter is you change every time the second hand on the clock ticks. Change is perpetual. It's something that my grandparents used to say to me when I was a young boy. Never be afraid of change because it is always happening. That said, there's going to come a time, if it hasn't already come, or that time will recur until you learn the lesson. And that lesson is that you have to give up what you thought was true for what actually is true. That is what reconstructing truth is all about. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page or channel rather, please do so now. Bring a friend. I'm pretty sure they should enjoy the material. If you haven't, follow me on both of my Instagram pages. That's the Incredible T.O.P and the Top Cast Instagram page. Check out the Top Cast on Anchor or your favorite podcast outlet. Season 1 is already done and complete. I'm already in season 2. Check me out. It's going to be some stuff up there. It's a little too risque for you too. Thanks again for joining us. I'm going to take you out with one of my good homies, King Jordan, a.k.a. Financialisms, with his hot joint, Converter Trapping 2. Thanks again, Ro. I look forward to having you back soon.
Sure.
For the Kings of Comedy. Peace, y'all.
Hey.
You want to hear something crazy? One time I had a customer drive 18 hours to come see me, right? I mean, he didn't even tell me he was coming or nothing. He just sold up with a whole bunch of cats like, yo, buy my material. I'm like, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, so it's cool. So went ahead and did his thing. Guess how much he went home with? $22,000. Yeah. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? And yeah, them cats good, so I'm about to pay whatever. Yeah. It's cold outside, but I'm buying in the sweater. I got enough cash that I'm about to change the weather. You got Cartier glasses and I got gold rings, but these cats worth more than 14 times those things. You got thieves in the streets and other buyers at the beach. So what I tell you, my mans, don't worry, I'ma preach. It's a sticky situation. If you join my occupation, you'll be running all around like a train without a station. No relation to that movie where that train ain't got no station. Now I'm thinking I've been doing this whole thing with no vacation. Converter trapping, converter trapping, converter trapping. That's what I like to do. You could call my phone, but please just play it cool. I'm trying to get you paid, so don't you be no fool. Converter trapping, converter trapping, converter trapping. That's what I like to do. You could call my phone, but please just play it cool. I'm trying to get you paid, so don't you be no fool. Verse 2 on this beat. I need to shout out my producer. He made this thing unique. Jeez, I mean please. I bless my clients even though they didn't sneeze. I paid top dollar even if you don't know me. Go ahead and just holler. You can sell your cat to me. Believe. G, roll up my sleeves. You got a lot of codes, but it's some we couldn't read. But don't worry, homie, could you read those off for me? And if you can't find it, then I'll raise my grading fee. Jokes, this ain't a hoax. I pay the type of money that'll make you tell your folks. Converter trapping, converter trapping, converter trapping. That's what I like to do. You could call my phone, but please just play it cool. I'm trying to get you paid, so don't